Going to be the very first billion dollar presidential campaign. Think about that for a moment. And while you do that, let me take a walk. I'm going to show you something. I want to break it down for you because here's where the money's going. Mrs. Clinton, $90 million in this case. Mr. Obama, $78 million so far. John Edwards, $30 million. This is the money that's been raised so far, given to them from donors. Mitt Romney on the Republican side with $62.4 million. Giuliani, $45.2 million. And John McCain with $30.5 million. No question about it. That is a lot of money. Is it your money? So what are you getting for that money? Joining me now, Patrick Toomey. He's the president of the Club for Growth. Is this a lot of money at this point for these campaigns? Because a lot of Americans would look at this and they'd get a little wide-eyed thinking, oh my God, it takes an awful lot of money just to be elected, right?
It's easy to get wide-eyed about a few $100 million, maybe $1 billion. Yeah, this is a lot of money by any historical measure. Back at the end of June, we'd probably about passed the amount of money that was raised in the entire 2000 cycle, and we haven't even had our first primary yet. I do think $1 billion is probably within reach. You know, but one of the questions is that really a lot of money for this purpose? We've got a $13,000 billion economy. That amounts to, if it gets to $1 billion, about $3 per man, woman, and child in America for deciding who's going to lead this country for the next 4 to 8 years. Is that unreasonable? You know, Rick, it's expensive to buy a commercial on a popular show. Yeah, like
well, but here's the problem. The problem is, and many Americans are starting to get it now, that what you're really getting is not a real person. You're getting a media fabrication, partly as a result of all that money that's poured into it, because you need a focus group, you need media advisors, you need hair and makeup, you need coaches. Yeah. I mean, it gets to be a little fake, doesn't it?
And people have an amazing ability to see through that, I think, and they want authenticity, and that can come across. I mean, I think some people can come across on TV with a lot more authenticity than others. People who are too coached and too fake and too rehearsed, they end up doing badly.
Yeah, but I keep reading that there are many people out there who are apparently the consultants who deal with these politicians who say, you know what, it really doesn't matter what he thinks or what he's like, because I can create his opinions and I can create his image. And you know that happens out there.
I know people try it all the time because I get involved in a lot of congressional races, so I see it. Very, very hard to pull that off. You know, people who believe that that works aren't giving the voters the credit they deserve. Voters see through that. A person has to actually stand for something and believe in something. Otherwise, it's just, they're going to collapse.
I don't know. I'm a little disappointed in seeing some of the things that have happened out there. But let me ask you this, because I think this is important, and I think a lot of viewers are watching us right now and thinking the same thing. How beholden are you to somebody who gives you that amount of money that I just showed them up there on that big wall?
Yeah, well, here's the thing, you know, the ironic thing in a way, when the numbers are that huge, you're obviously beholden to any one individual, really very little. You know, the maximum legal personal contribution is $2,300. If a leading candidate ends up raising $400 or $500 million, a single $1,000 check or $2,000 check is really almost insignificant in the context of the whole thing. Yeah,
I think maybe in some cases, though, they come in blocks and they come in from industries, and that's where you kind of got to follow the dollar.
You have individuals who accumulate these funds and who bundle those checks, and so obviously, you know, if people do that on a very large scale, there's some influence there.
That's the bundling. Hey, Patrick Toomey, thanks. Smart. I appreciate the information.